The last thing they want to do is enrich anything right now. They want to recover. And we won't let that happen, number one. Militarily, we won't. I think we'll end up having somewhat of a relationship with Iran. I see it. Look, I've had a relationship over the last 4 days. They agreed to the ceasefire.
President Trump discussing Iran this morning as he takes center stage at the NATO summit in the Netherlands. The president touting Operation Midnight Hammer as a major success after reports yesterday claimed it only set back Tehran's nuclear capabilities by a few months. Joining me now is Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Meuser, a member of the House Financial Services and Small Business Committees. Congressman, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, no doubt we saw what happened in terms of the huge success and the decoys and the no leaks in terms of the White House's action and the commander-in-chief directing our military. How would you assess the operation?
Well, I agree with you. It was a complete success, without question. Our intent was to destroy, set back, if you will, Iran's, the terrorist state of the world's nuclear capabilities, and that was done. You know, sadly, there was some leak from a rogue individual at the Pentagon, and the media picks up on it, trying to give Iran the benefit of the doubt. Look, their nuclear capabilities were annihilated. That was the intent. The last 3 or 4 presidents said they were going to, had concerns about their nuclear development, uranium enrichment. I've been to the International Atomic Energy Agency. They had concerns during the Biden administration, significant factually based concerns, and the president took care of business. President Trump set them back, so it's no longer a threat.
Well, you're right. Oh, there's so many presidents who've got their quotes. George Bush, Iran must not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons. Barack Obama, I've stated that Iran will never be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon. Joe Biden, we will not allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. Then you've got Donald Trump. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. And so Donald Trump did something about it. But look, I want to get your take on business here because the Senate is working to get the big, beautiful bill across the finish line. You've got only 1 legislative week left to get this on the president's desk by what he's expecting to be July 4th deadline. The president posted on Truth Social yesterday, to my friends in the Senate, lock yourself in a room if you must. Don't go home and get the deal done this week. No one goes on vacation until it's done. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also weighed in on the SALT deduction yesterday to Fox. Here's what he said. Watch.
What's the biggest holdup with SALT? The fact that there seems to be an inconsistency on the Republican position in the House and then the Senate.
I think that both sides are working through, and we'll have a solution to that next 24, 48 hours. I would just add, I had a very successful lunch meeting with the senators. I think that we are on track for hopefully for a vote this Friday for July 4th for the tax bill. President is doing peace deals, tax deals, trade deals, so he's done a peace deal. I think we'd have the tax deal done by July 4th, and then we can finish with the trade deals.
So what do you think, Congressman? What are you expecting this to look like when you get it back in the House? A lot of revisions for the Senate?
Well, I tend to agree with Secretary Bessent. I think he's doing a great job. And as a matter of fact, I think we will have the Senate bill be able to be passed on the House floor by Saturday. There's only a couple of provisions. I mean, one, of course, the SALT. That's being worked out with income thresholds. And then a subsidy, if you will, for rural hospitals, which will make up for perhaps some of the federal ratios for Medicaid, but they will be supplemented to satisfy the hospital needs. So, yeah, I think we're going to have something Saturday morning, Maria, and then we should be done here for a few days. So but we shall see.
You think you're going to get something Saturday morning, this Saturday, or are you talking about Saturday, July 4th weekend?
I mean, this Saturday, could be Sunday, sometime this weekend, we should get the Senate bill, and we'll debate it some, but I think it'll be acceptable to our vast majority, with the exception of 1 or 2.
And 1 or 2, does that include New Yorkers or Californians who are worried about the SALT deduction? Do you think you're going to get the SALT cap to a level that Mike Lawler can vote for?
I do. We have to. This bill is so important to my constituents. I mean, it's $4,000 in tax increases will occur. Small businesses will be annihilated. We won't codify the border security and border control that the president has delivered.
Yeah.
Energy would be set back. Look, we're in pro-growth mode, and this bill is a big step in the right direction. It's not the end. It's the beginning, as I've been saying very often, and that leads into the Jerome Powell situation with him not working on the interest rates. He's got to be part of what's being built here, and that's an American movement of pro-growth, of American manufacturing, of success, and for more foreign trade. That's the whole idea here, and this bill is a big step in that direction.
Well, I'll tell you, so much is riding on this. It's not just, what you said, small business, it's big business as well. I spoke with the chairman and CEO of Bank of America yesterday, Brian Moynihan. Here's what he said. Watch. Your thoughts on what do you want to see in terms of policy in this big, beautiful bill that will be important to accelerate growth for your sector and the broad economy?
I think the number one thing is to actually extend the tax rates, because what people are losing the context is these tax rates were meant to get the U.S. competitive on taxes for corporations, so that they weren't remember, back to people were exporting business outside the United States for lower tax rate reasons.
Is this a front center issue? Getting those tax rates extended, ensuring they get this bill over the finish line?
Well, the assumption they'll be extended so much, though, that if it didn't get extended, it would be a real shock to the system, and that's what everybody's working to avoid. On the debt, the interesting thing is that debt is more of a front and center topic in America today. I'd say that the taxes really, everybody's assuming to get through, it would be a real shock to the system. They don't.
So a shock to the system means if this doesn't happen, we could see the markets go down. I mean, Jay Powell was on Capitol Hill yesterday, and he's on again today, as you know. He will testify before the Senate Banking Committee. But what was your sense of what Jay Powell said to the House yesterday, in fact, saying he's not rushing to cut rates right now, tracking a wave of potential price hikes and waiting for more clarity before making a move, Congressman?
Yeah, once again, he's really just not on board. He's not embracing what's going to be done here. And what Moynihan was talking about was bonus depreciation. It was the enhanced 199A. It was things that will regulatory reforms that will help banking, which we're passing. And Jerome Powell yesterday is just slow handing it and anticipating what shouldn't be anticipated, and that's some sort of inflationary increase which hasn't occurred due to tariffs. We only import 14% of our GDP. There are alternatives to any increase in pricing that could take place. So, a 1% reduction, Maria, in interest rate, and we're at 4.5 basically right now. We were at 2.5 a couple of years ago. That seemed to be the norm. If we could bring it down a half a point or even 1 point, we save on our national debt, on our service on debt, $200 billion, and it will add $290 billion to our GDP.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense. We're in investment mode. We're in growth mode. And Powell's blaming it on the wrong things.
Yeah, and I know that's why President Trump has been, prodding the chairman to cut rates. It's largely because of the debt. But Congressman, real quick before you go, your state is a big energy state. When are we going to see the president's energy agenda in terms of permitting, et cetera, tapping into the capacity in America really play out? Is that a second half of the year priority?
Well, it is part of the reconciliation, is part of the BBB.
Okay.
We're all working on it. And you know what? Our governor in Pennsylvania drags his feet when it comes to our natural resources as well. So maybe we need a new governor as well. But thanks, Maria. You're the best.
Good to see you, Congressman. Thank you so much. Dan Meuser on